When they say everybody can't come with you, I truly believe that, because when you're at the bottom, just know that the people that are at the bottom may not reach the top with you. And the top don't have to be fame. The top don't have to be popularity. The top could be just the fact that you became an individual that helped other people. You became the type of person that made impacts in other people's lives. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to be like somebody, big. You could be, you couldn't be. You feel what I'm saying? It depends on your path. It depends on what God created you to do. But just know that people at the bottom, sometimes they really think like you only going to be down there trying to do it, because when you down there, they like, oh yeah, I'm rooting for you and stuff like that. But when you actually start to rise, it brings out certain elements of certain people. Like when you start to get money, when you start to actually make an impact, when people start to talk about you based off of the things you've been through, based off of where you are going, a lot of people around you are going to show their true colors. They might show envy, they might show hate, they might show passive aggressiveness. And like I said, it don't mean you became big or popular, which you could, but sometimes it's just who you become changes who they are, or who you become reveals who they have always been. And most of the time it's the people close to you, friends, family, so-called supporters. When you actually start to rise, people will minimize you. I'm gonna give you an example. You know what I'm saying? I had a blood aunt, right? Her son was just playing basketball. He was small. Then he grew tall as hell, right? And he started to get good. Instead of her bigging him up, because that's her son, instead of her being like, oh yeah, you're doing the best or whatever the case may be, she would go around the family and be like, that boy think he going to the NBA. That boy think he going to the NBA. And he would just kind of brush it off. But when I went to go play basketball with him by myself without being around her, I realized that affected him. And your mother is saying that, so that's going to affect the child. Why you think people like Kanye West is so confident? Because he has mom pushing that into him. Why you think people like DDG became so successful? His dad was telling him like, you're going to be the greatest or whatever the case may be. Even people like Tank Davis, who didn't have his parents around, but he had Calvin. Calvin instilled a lot of things into him that he didn't have because his parents didn't. So that foundation that you have is very important. But just know when you are at the bottom in regards to anything that you do in life, just know that as you rise, people are going to change. And then when you reach to the top, or when you get in the vicinity of the top, because the top has levels as well, people going to be different. People going to change. So, you know what I'm saying? You can feel bad about it because, you were close to these people at one point, but just realize that that's part of the game. And sometimes God created you to be a certain way that your growth may make other people fall off. And you can't truly grow unless you let those people go because of whatever they got going on versus whatever you got going on. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? That's why when they say that saying, like, not everybody can go, that's so true. It is what it is. Sometimes the energies be off. Sometimes y'all don't align no more. Y'all don't connect no more. Sometimes there's envious jealousy. Sometimes there's minimization to where people want to, hold you down. They want you next to them so they can say, oh, this my homie, this my buddy, this my sis, this my bro. But they want to keep you down. So sometimes you got to let people go in order to get where you need to go and grow. You feel me? It's your boy Josh Different. I'm different. You different. We different. I'm out, baby.